Hey there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. I am Jeff, and I will wager you anything you like. If American women stopped wearing brasiers, your whole economy would collapse overnight. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and I must say, if I had the grievous misfortune to be a citizen of this benighted country, I should be the most hesitant at offering any criticism, whatever, of any other.
What are you saying something bad about America? See?
I
Yeah.
certainly am.
I can't even remember who he was in the car with. Who did he spend all of his time with? Was it
Oh,
wasn't
Milton
Sid
Berle.
Caesar? He was with Milton Berle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. So much.
Yes.
This week, Cheesemeisters, we are talking about It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. The 1963, hey, is that masterpiece? Written by William Rose. And I'm going to try a thing where I give you some other credits of people when we do these things, so that you get a picture of their oeuvre, right?
Okay.
So, and it's definitely going to come into play when it comes to the actors in this film, but I want to do it moving forward with writers and directors too, so
Oh,
that
okay.
you're like, oh, I think that might be helpful. So anyway, William Rose, who also wrote Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Lady Killer, and The Lady Killers, among other things. The Lady Killers is a movie that the Coen brothers did a remake of.
Yes.
Yeah, the original was Alec Guinness in the original? I think he might have been. But the one they did was with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And Tanya Rose, who was his wife, and she has this and one other credit.
Hmm.
It was directed by Stanley Kramer, who also directed Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, starring Spencer Tracy as Captain Culpepper, who starred in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and also Father of the Bride. You might know him from that, the original.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the original George Banks. It is weird that the writer, director, and star of this movie then made Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's real weird.
Listen, he must enjoy Whiplash.
Yeah, they took 4 years in between the two, but to go from this to like a movie about interracial dating in the 1960s,
You
that is different.
One could argue, though, that he was making a statement with both pieces because, like, as I watched this, I went, okay, there are some statements to be made here, but I don't know where they're going with it.
Okay, well, I definitely want to hear about whatever statements you think this is making. Um, this stars, as I say, Spencer Tracy as Captain Culpepper, Milton Berle as J. Russell Finch. You might recognize him from 90210,
That's about it.
or Uncle Milty, or having a huge cock.
No, I definitely don't recognize him for that.
Yeah, everybody does. Um,
I mean, I do now
Also
because of
stars.
you.
Well, let's see. These are the things people know. Ethel Merman, she plays Mrs. Marcus. You might know her as Mama Rose, or as Lieutenant Hurwitz in Airplane.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be swell. You'll
You'll
be
be
great.
great.
Sid Caesar, who played Melville Crump. You might know him as Coach Calhoun, who wants to ring that victory bell like he always wanted to. Um, Buddy Hackett, who played Benny Benjamin. You might know him from The Music Man.
Yep.
Mickey Rooney, who played Ding Bell. People, not you, would know him from the Andy Hardy movies from the late 30s and early 1940s. You might also know him as the really racist character in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, yeah. I'd almost
Yeah,
forgotten about that. Yep.
yeah. It'd be good if everyone could forget about that. But Mickey Rooney, according to himself, the way that Dana Carvey tells it, because Dana Carvey did a sitcom with Mickey Rooney in like the mid 80s. And his Mickey Rooney impression comes directly from working with him because he would say this. I was the biggest star in the world. Do you hear me? Bang! Zoom the world.
Oh my God.
Because he fucking was. Andy Rooney at 18 was the biggest star in the world. Like
Sure,
he was huge.
but you don't need to say that about yourself.
No, but he did. Dick Shawn played Sylvester. He was in nothing else that I had ever seen or heard of. Phil Silvers, you kidding, but you didn't tell me it was so deep. He played Otto Meyer. People knew him from the Phil Silvers show. So many people in this movie had their own show in the 1950s.
Yep.
I mean, this is like everyone in this movie in 1962 was widely known. And there are a lot of cameos in this movie that are people who would become way more famous than they are in this movie.
Yeah.
But this is a fucking who's who, this thing. But Phil Silvers was also in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, which is a possibility that you might have seen him in that.
Oddly enough, no.
Okay. Terry Thomas, who we both quoted at the beginning of this movie.
Yes.
You might know him as Sir Hiss
That's
from Robin
who
Hood.
he is. Okay.
Yep. Where he crosses his arms. He's a snake and he crosses it. Come on, Sir Hiss.
Can
Jonathan
we
Winters.
just find a way to watch this movie already?
Of course. I mean, sure.
Thank you.
You've seen it, right?
No, I have, but it's been so long, and
It's
like
such a glory.
you can quote stuff in it that I can't, and I just
Yeah.
want to get up to your level.
Well, good luck. I've seen the movie a lot. Jonathan Winters, he played Lenny Pike. I know him from Mork and Mindy, but also because he was just a famous comedian. That's a lot of these folks. Edie Adams played Monica Crump. You might recognize her from The Apartment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who is she in that?
Maybe it was Miss Olson or something. I saw the name.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write it down. Dorothy Provine, she played Emmeline Finch. And I don't have another thing for her. We are watching this in conjunction with season 5, episode 16, Sentenced to Life because of the Milton Berle of it all. Our spelling connections in this movie are
God.
obviously Milton Berle.
Yeah.
Ethel Merman did an episode of The Love Boat, as did Sid Caesar, Buddy Hackett, Mickey Rooney, Dick Shawn, who also did Fantasy Island. Phil Silvers did Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and Charlie's Angels. Edie Adams did Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and Vegas. So, yeah, we have a lot of connections to this movie, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
This movie is 69% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, 81% on the Popometer. Interestingly, much more liked by the people.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have a face, which I understand.
I just want to make it clear right now. I did not hate this movie. It's one of those, it's not for me.
Yeah, I totally get it. And let's get there.
Okay.
But first, this movie won an Oscar.
Holy shit, what?
Best Effects, Sound Effects. And it was nominated for Cinematography Color, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and Best Music Original Song for the title song, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
This movie, as just discussed, stars every comedian alive in 1962. I mean, it's
alive or still kicking, because some people
Barely.
died right after this.
I mean, this might be the last thing that the Three Stooges were in.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they do in this movie is they are firemen. They are dressed as firemen. They are standing there. And the camera pans across them. The whole joke being, this is who's here to put out this fire.
Yeah.
And you've seen it. You know what it looks like when Larry, Moe, and Joe, it was Joe, not Curly. Curly, I think, was gone by this point or far too sick.
I only saw 2.
Yeah, there's three of them.
Oh, well, they only showed 2. It was a weird cut. They only showed
It
2 in my cut.
it it's a pan.
Oh, I must have blinked and
You
missed the
might have.
first one.
You might have. Or not recognized him. You know, because Larry and Moe, like I feel like you would know.
Yeah.
Joe is like he's curly a Jace. You
Okay.
know, like he's got a round face. He's kind of bald, but he's not curly. Um, so yeah, everybody. I mean, it was just if you were on any of the variety shows of the 50s, if you had one with your name in the title, if you were in vaudeville, I mean, if you were a Buster Keaton is in this movie. Jerry Lewis, uncredited, is the guy who drives over the hat.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's loaded, this thing, with famous people and comedians alive in 1962. And it is a road movie, a chase movie.
A
It
quest?
is, yeah, yeah. It starts with a car careening down the hill, a la Dylan McKay. And
I wrote Dylan level accident.
yeah, yeah. And it shoots off Milton Berle does this like 70 times.
Yeah.
It just whew, whew, flew off the edge of the thing. Cut. Um, and like big car crash. And like the people who he just passed, they all pull over and they get out of their car and they run down the hill.
Yeah.
And they find the driver of the car laying not quite dead on the ground. And it's Jimmy Durante. It's so important to make someone happy.
Stop. What?
Make just someone happy.
Oh.
You didn't recognize that voice?
No.
Not even as Frosty the Snowman? Frosty the Snowman?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Durante,
I
kid.
was so caught up in the Shakespearean death of it all.
When he actually physically kicked the bucket?
Yeah.
That like that's the level of joke in this movie. Is he fucking kicked the bucket and he kicked a bucket.
Just the energy he suddenly had to tell this tale of a quest they must go on for him now, and then, but wait, you must do, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yep. Yeah, there's $350,000 buried in Santa Rosita State Park under a big W. And then he dies. And the people who have run to surround him are Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Mickey Rooney, Buddy Hackett, and Jonathan Winters.
All the dudes.
Yeah. But that's like there's not one person in that quintet who was not enormously famous.
Mm.
Like every one of them is like it's every person who gets out of the car is like him and him and him. And it just that's how the fucking and then so anyway, they come down and this guy's like big W. And then he dies, and then a cop shows up, and they're like, "Oh, we should probably not say anything to find the money." And then there's like 25 minutes of them trying to figure out how to what they're gonna do about getting this money.
Yeah.
Like, are they all just gonna go together and split it? And if they do, how many shares is it? And it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And I think so much of enjoying this movie revolves around enjoying the cameos. Like, I
Yes.
think that's you can't separate the two. But if you ignore that part, I think this splitting the shares conversation is a litmus test. If you think this is funny, you're going to be in for this movie. If you think this conversation goes on 10 to 15 minutes too fucking long, then you're going to have a little bit of a problem getting through this movie. And I am much more on the why is this taking so long side of the coin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. This movie's too fucking long. Uh, Everything that happens after they dig up the money could just have been cut. You don't need any of
Yes.
it, and it's 25 minutes. And the only reason that it's there is so they can do the gag on the
The
fireman's
ladder.
ladder.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
No.
There's two gags. They want to do the stairwell gag, which, you know, cinematography wise, the camera that rises up and you see the split floor, the split level, and it goes from these stairs to these stairs. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool. Like, that's a really cool way to do that thing. But it's just filled with things that go on too long. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I did not write all these things down, so I'm going to go off the top of my head the bits in this movie
Oh,
that
God.
go on too long.
All of
All
them.
right, and feel free to add. Okay.
Okay.
The how many shares bit
Yes.
too long. And by the way, Cheesemeisters, they all decide they're going to go get this money, and then is a zany race to get there. Okay, that's the plot of the movie. That's it. That's all you need to know. And then there's a cop. Spencer Tracy is a cop, and he stands in a room mostly. It's a lot like the scenes in Airplane where they cut away to, you know, I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. It's the same exact. Airplane is making just as much fun of this, but this is also making fun of that conceit. So,
I
you know,
kept expecting our boy Brian, the one who's just making the most outlandish remarks, like, but he's large, or
oh, Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Okay, I think the actor's name is Brian, but it doesn't
it
matter.
might be.
I
Yeah.
kept expecting him to burst
Mhm.
in with his antics. I just kept seeing his wild grin in that
I
room.
can make a hat or a brooch or a pterodactyl. Uh-huh.
I needed him.
I know. But like they had the, you know, how about some coffee? No, thanks. You know, like,
I don't know.
yeah. So there's that bit, right? Then there's them driving down the side of the mountain, passing each other, blocking each other. And so much of this movie is people on a stage in front of a green screen pretending to drive a car, and then cutaways to stunts and special effects done by real people in cars. Like,
Yeah.
there's just so much of what, and then in planes.
Yep.
All right, so there's that bit, and then there's the racing down the road bit. Goes on too fucking long.
The one in
There's
the garage goes on way too long.
the fight in the garage that destroys the garage goes
Oh
on
my
too
God.
long.
Well, and that's a different garage than I was thinking.
Oh.
But yes, that fight went on way too long.
It's funny though.
No,
Like-
it is. Like, to see everything eventually fall down, like
Yeah.
it's made out of the cheapest material. Again, I
Yeah.
told you, this was just, they didn't want to do inventory and they wanted to
No, burn it all down.
destroy all this shit. No,
Yeah.
the one I'm thinking of is when Sid Caesar and his wife are in that, I guess it's a
The hardware store.
Oh, okay. That went on way too long.
That was next in my mental list. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. The dynamite scene and the fireworks scene in the basement of the hardware store, that is at least 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so fucking long. Then let's see. There was that.
Them trying to help the guys fly the plane.
Uh-huh. Yes. Oh yeah, the landing the plane bit. Oh God, it takes forever.
Anytime they showed Sylvester, I was like, please, enough with this man.
Oh,
Like, crying, like, I'm coming for you, mama. Your baby
Uh-huh.
boy's coming for you. That's why
Yeah.
you had me.
but even before that, the amount of time they spent on those cutaways to the dance sequences.
Super weird.
Yeah, I mean, those were obviously a send up of like the Frankie and Annette movies, you know, the beach blanket bingo kind of deals.
Okay.
You know, like that, you could tell what they were making fun of, but like that is a 5-second cutaway that stayed for 30 seconds. And then the
Yeah.
second, when they came back to it, and then they came back to it again, and Sylvester's there, and it just goes, and it fucking goes. I think the bit at the end on the ladder goes on way too long.
Way too long.
I mean, I also think that the running around the state park goes on too long.
Yeah.
Trying to find where the W is goes on too long. This movie could be half the length that it is if they just made each of the bits reasonable in length.
You know, it's funny. It reminds me of how I describe the movie musical Wicked, because I'm like, this
Uh-huh.
is what happens when you allow actors to feel every moment.
Sure. Yeah.
And then some. It's
Mhm.
it's way too long.
Yeah. It's
It's
and
beautiful,
there
but it's way too long.
yeah. And this movie it's interesting because I think this movie is I'm glad we watched this movie,
Me too.
even though I don't particularly like this movie. Because I think that in the history of comedy, this movie is like a linchpin,
Yeah.
you know? Like it shines a light on so many comedians that were massively famous that people today may not remember. And also, it is a movie that the people that I think are funny grew up watching. So it's foundational text for the people on Saturday Night Live. It's foundational text for the writers of The Simpsons, which we're going to talk about later.
Yes.
Um, it and I think that in some ways it's a little foundational for David Letterman
Say more.
because Letterman is the king of this thing where like a joke if you say if you say the joke once it's funny, right? If you say it a second time it's less funny. If you say it a third time it's not funny anymore.
Mm.
If you say it 75 times, somewhere in there it becomes funny again.
Okay.
It just fucking does. And Letterman would do that. Like, I mean, it would be like the only thing that comes to mind is Norm's impression of Dave.
Oh, I need to see that.
It's really funny. But he would be like, hey Paul, yeah, you got any gum? Yeesh. You got any gum? You got any gum? Hey Paul, you got any gum?
Oh my god.
And it's like it's funny the first time, and then it's not funny anymore, but he keeps fucking doing it. And then after like 10 minutes, you got any gum is the funniest thing you've ever heard. And this movie, I think, is like that is what these jokes are. These bits that go on too long
Mm-hmm.
are them doing that. And I think Letterman takes it and he puts a lot more air in it. And he stretches it out to like one gag for the length of a whole episode of TV. Like he just keeps doing it. Like every time he comes back from commercial and like it's like, oh, you're doing it again. Fuck.
You know
Okay.
what it is? It's like these people have all ascended from stand up. They no longer have to look out for the light, to be done. They can just kill the bit and then
Yeah.
revive it again. They can
Yes.
draw out the bit as long
Mhm.
as they want. And I don't blame them. Like we
Because
do
it
shit on here that we think is funny and no one else
yes.
might think is funny. They
I don't
do.
give a shit.
But like
Yeah.
we're having fun.
Mm-hmm. But that it's so much it stops being funny and it gets really annoying. But if you power through, it gets way funnier.
I think that is
And
an odd selling point for a comedian, but again, I'm an odd one out in that like I'm not he again, Another thing that's not for me, but I know he's, like, the best in some people's eyes, so
Mhm. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's weird that it's true, but it is.
yeah.
And it feels like it is a next level of what they're doing in parts of this movie. Um, and this movie does the the jokes wink at the audience
Yeah.
like a bunch. Like the kick the bucket joke is a fucking come on now. Like okay, yes, we know what we're doing here. Um, but there's a cameo in this movie of the actor Jim Backus. Do you know who that is?
That's Thurston Howell the Third, is it
It's
not?
it is Thurston Howell the Third, Lovey. Um, but do you know the cartoon character that he voiced?
No.
Have you heard of Mr. Magoo?
I've heard of him, but I don't know what he looks like or sounds
He's
like.
short and bald and basically blind. And the gag is always him being blind. And
Oh,
like
Lord.
like walking into traffic or under
My
like whatever. It's just
God.
it's all blind jokes. All of it.
Oh.
And when Jim Backus he comes to in this movie and he's like, my eyes, I can't see. And he
Oh,
does like a whole fucking Mr. Magoo bit,
God.
but like in his actual body, not as a cartoon character. And like that's obviously a tip of the hat to the audience. Like, oh,
This
here you
is
go.
like when you make a video project for school and
Mhm.
you put in all your in jokes for your friends and like the
Mhm.
5 of you think it's fucking hilarious
Yeah.
and everyone else is left like, okay.
Except that the whole world was in on all of these jokes.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Well, at
know,
the time.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
When this movie came out, not only was every person in it massively famous, but there was shorthand that made you understand what you were getting
Mhm.
and who you and what like. And there are people in here who became way more famous after. Like this catches them early.
Mm.
Um, so you don't get that for those people, but we can superimpose it a little bit, which is the other interesting thing about the cameos in this and the level of fame that they have now versus that they had then, and for what,
Mm.
right? Because some of the things that these people are famous for me, and for you, hadn't happened yet when they
Yes.
made this movie. You know, like all the Mickey Rooney stuff, of course, that had happened.
Yes.
Um, and you know, Sid Caesar, Your Show of Shows, and the Phil Silver Show, and Uncle Milty, and you know everything that Spencer Tracy. Not Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That's later, um, but there are people in this movie like Peter Falk, who has
Yes.
not done Columbo yet, not offered to sell Kermit a watch. Um, Don Knotts, Andy Griffith was already on, I think, in '63. So you would have known Don Knotts. But Norman Fell. So you've got Mr. Roper and Mr. Furley from Three's Company in this movie,
Yes.
right? Joey Brown was already famous from Some Like It Hot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Obviously Jerry Lewis, Buster Keaton, already famous. Three Stooges. Jack Benny and Rochester were already famous, but I'm guessing you don't even know who they are.
No.
You know how I know who they are? Bugs
'Cause you've
Bunny cartoons where
Oh,
they were
okay.
mice. Yeah. I mean, I knew who Jack Benny was because like if you've seen any Jack Benny is of the Bob Hope style of, you know, that kind of comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Jack Benny's it's most of the stuff was like him being like a guy who was like stuffed shirt, like, but also like real tight, like doesn't want to spend $1.
Mm.
And he has a black manservant named Rochester. And the bits are back and forth between him and Rochester so much.
Okay.
And they turned him and Rochester into mice. And that's how I know them. I learned that Jack Benny and Rochester were these little mice characters And that's how I learned that they were comedians and Bob Hope and this whole thing. Um,
Got it.
but I don't like, I know them from being a cartoon. Jimmy Durante, I know from Frosty the Snowman and from Make Someone Happy and like every soundtrack.
Yeah.
It like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in
Citizen
Seattle and
Seattle. Yep.
yeah, all that stuff. It's all way later. Sid Caesar had not done Grease at this point,
Yeah.
which is what you know him from. It's what
Hell
I know
yeah.
him from. Um, I knew Ethel Merman from fucking Airplane, which is obviously a joke based on the career she had had to date. Um, I knew Mickey Rooney because I kind of knew who he was. Like he was a name of a person out
I
there.
You know what's funny? I know more about Mickey Rooney from the biopic I watched about Judy Garland
Mm,
because they did so many movies together and they
yeah,
were really close.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I haven't really I mean, I'm sure I know he's done episodes of kid shows that I watched growing up because,
Ooh.
the merging of the
Yeah,
having older generations in younger generation shows.
yeah.
Um, but yeah.
I mean, Mickey Rooney he was the voice of Kris Kringle, maybe in Santa Claus is Coming to Town. One of those Rankin and Bass
Oh,
ones.
okay.
Yeah, I think he's Kris Kringle in Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I think that's the
Are you
one.
talking about, like, that claymation movie?
The Rankin and Bass ones, yeah, in the
Oh,
70s.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And like so many of these people are known to my generation and to a lesser extent, I'm guessing yours, but still from those holiday movies.
Yes.
Like I know Jimmy Durant from that stuff. I know um who plays the mailman in um shit. Might have to look it up.
I don't know
Fuck.
Mr. McFeely, that actor.
I know, right? No, it's not Mr. McFeely. Speedy Delivery.
Yeah.
Um But like these people were super famous at the time and remained famous for 40 years, you know, through various things that were not the things that they were initially famous for. Like those Christmas cartoons gave you a lot of these old stars doing voices.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what people younger than 50 know them from, you know?
Yeah.
And it's I think that the joy of this movie is, oh, there's fucking Don Knotts, you know?
Absolutely. Like, I really think every I can't list one for every generation, and I don't even know if there is one, but I feel like every generation needs some homage to the top comedians of the time.
Sure.
And, whether they try to recreate this or not, I think sometimes they do. It's funny. I was describing the movie and Walter went, "That sounds like Rat Race." And I went, "That's a
Uh-huh.
remake, you idiot." Like,
Yeah, it is. It's a total remake of this.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I know it was on HBO a lot, but I much like I remember starting this film once as a kid
Mhm.
and leaving it.
Yeah. Rat Race, I don't even remember who's in it, but I did see it once. And it's this. And so is
Yeah.
Cannonball Run. Like Cannonball Run
Yeah.
is the early 1980s version of this. And Rat Race is like the early 2000s. We're due, I think, probably for a version of this, with
I would love to see it. I
yeah,
mean, there are
Ryan
definitely some
Reynolds and
other
whatnot.
cameo heavy movies that I thought of that aren't trying to be this, thankfully, but
Mhm.
still give you that same feel every 5 minutes of like, hey, it's so and so, or like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Because some of these are, I don't know. Some of these I got to see in theater and hear the reactions. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Like what? Tell me these movies.
Okay. So a big one that comes to mind uh is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Sure.
Because to be in that theater, I feel like I witnessed something historic when Wesley Snipes walked in.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
And
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 Channing
so
Tatum being
yeah, Gambit.
Gambit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
wild. I
Mhm.
think the Muppets movies do this.
The Muppet movie, the first Muppet movie in particular.
Well, I mean, I agree. Some of the lists I was finding were saying other Muppet movies. Like, they were referencing the newer ones, and I'm like, "No, no, the older ones have done this already."
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that first Muppet movie, if you think about it,
yeah,
it's it starts with Dom
Dom
DeLuise,
DeLuise.
right? And then you've got Milton Berle and Bob Hope and Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy and Richard Pryor and Steve Martin. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the 1979 version of every funny person you can find.
Yeah.
It's this exact idea, only they're not chasing money. They're chasing the standard rich and famous contract.
Yeah.
Fucking Orson Welles.
Yes.
Like, no, the Muppet movie is, I think, owes a lot to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Yeah.
It's got the car chases, it's got, the zany interactions. The pacing is way better. But
Another movie I thought of, and we've done this one.
Mhm.
Weird. The Al Yankovic.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
that one, it's layered because there's obviously the cameos of like, oh, look at all these famous people who were just together at the same time. But
Right.
then also the people playing them. Like,
Yes. The
like
people
Conan
in Dr.
O'Brien
Demento's
as Andy
Grotto. Come on.
Warhol is my favorite cameo in that movie.
I know. It's insane that
It's so stupid.
everybody at Dr. Demento's Grotto is
Yes.
perfectly cast and exactly the person that in my head would be hanging out at Dr. Demento's Grotto. Like, of course, Tiny Tim's fucking there.
Yeah.
Come on. Freddie Mercury's probably there,
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up some other things that have like a ton of cameos in them. Anchorman has a boatload of cameos, and it's
Oh, that newsman fight is
the newsman fight.
amazing.
Yeah, come on. Brick killed a guy.
Yeah, I threw a
I
trident.
had a trident.
Listen, you might want to lay low for a while. You might be wanted for murder.
For murder. The Austin Powers movies are loaded with cameos, not to the extent that this is, but it's like, and the Adam Sandler movies are loaded with cameos. Liam mentioned that he had heard Happy Gilmore 2 has a bunch, and I'm like, that's what I heard too. I haven't seen it. I loved Happy Gilmore, but I never saw the second one. I heard it wasn't as good. But Zoolander was loaded with cameos.
I saw
Your
that
friend
on
Billy
the list.
Zane. Listen to your friend Billy Zane.
Gladly.
Fucking Mulder in his glass hands.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's the cartoons, but they're cameos nonetheless.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's genius. But you're right. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, there's Daffy and Donald. Oh, I see Porky Pig back there.
It had me thinking a lot because, I briefly thought of Endgame and I was like, those aren't really cameos though, because everyone is like working together and having more than 5 minutes of time.
And they're playing characters that have been part of this story already.
Yeah. And I also thought of, I don't think you've seen this one, Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, okay. And like, once again, it's people playing historical figures. Like, oh, we were all around at the same time and all close.
Right.
And it is a little fun to be like, oh my God, it's Kathy Bates, it's Gertrude Stein, or Tom Hiddleston is Fitzgerald. Like,
Yeah. There is the cameo loaded movie is not a bad thing.
No.
It can be like so many of those movies we just talked about, I love.
Yeah.
Like I might not, I don't know that it's not my favorite movie because I think I like The Great Muppet Caper better, but I may not love a movie as much as I love the Muppet movie. Like, just saying the Muppet movie, I'm fucking tearing up.
Oh,
life's like a movie, write your own ending, keep believing, keep pretending we did just what we said. Come on. The greatest.
It is.
Um, it's pretty dangerous building a road like that in the middle of the street. I mean, if frogs couldn't hop, I would have been gone with the Schwinn. I mean, I fucking like. I love that movie. I love Anchorman. I love Zoolander. Like all of these things. I love so many of these movies. Deadpool and Wolverine. I really, really liked that movie. I've only seen it
So
the one
good.
time, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
But they are an interesting. Like they place. If you don't recognize the cameos, the movie has to be really strong to hold up.
Yes.
And I think that the Muppet movie, it doesn't matter if you don't know who Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy are.
Correct.
It doesn't matter. It's funnier when you were like, that's Edgar Bergen. He used to do ventriloquism on the radio. That's fucking weird.
Yep.
It's a sight gag and it's the radio. And then you like when you watch him too, his mouth moves a lot.
Well, he was getting to do it on the radio and be relaxed about it. So it
Uh-huh.
makes sense that when he's
Yeah.
finally in front of people, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta lock that jaw.
Right. But I'm Yul Brenner. I'm the king and I. Second best ventriloquism bit in any movie and a best in show. Like the Muppet movie is so funny and so touching and the music is so great and it's fucking puppets riding bikes and shit. Like it's a technological marvel. It's really weird and meta and strange. And if you don't know that Milton Berle is Mad Mad Moody and, 11.95 minus our $12 trade-in, you owe us a nickel. Like you don't need to know who Milton Berle is for that movie to work.
Yeah.
I think that It's a Mad, 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 Mad World only works at all if you like the cameos or if you think that 10-minute conversation about the splits is funny.
I agree.
And I enjoyed the cameos enough.
Sure.
So that I find some pleasure in this movie. It loses me entirely after they dig up the treasure.
It lost me before that. Like,
Yeah.
and again, it's not like I watched it and hated it and didn't
Mhm.
find it funny. Like, it was very much laughing with a smile only.
Sure.
It was like a matinee crowd on a Sunday. You're just,
Yeah.
that's
Like
cute. I see what they're doing.
yeah.
Nothing bad. It was just that as things are building, building, building and becoming messier and messier and messier, and I'm like, oh, they're building to something, but it's only halfway. What the hell? And then they cut to intermission and I went, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I
I
need a
was like,
break.
that was so fucking much. But of course, since this is in my own home and not in a movie theater, it was like a minute and I went, damn it, I really wanted a break, even though,
Oh, I hit pause. Like
well, I
I
did
took an
too.
actual break.
I,
Yeah.
I, I waited to see, and then I was like, oh, this isn't a real, because listen, Cheesemeisters, when you watch a musical that was 2 tapes, you not only got an intermission, you got the entr'acte.
Oh, sure.
You had a
Yeah.
long time to fast forward.
Yeah, that's true.
If you were a kid and you were like, I don't need this shit, although now I'd be like, oh, this is lovely. I'm going to
Yep.
clean while I listen to My Fair Lady Act 2.
Yeah. This is great. I like it. Yeah, it's the
But
intermission just helped.
the bits just, they got exhausting for me after a while. And like, I really tried in the second act to like pay more attention to the policeman because I really felt like, okay, there's something they're trying to tell us here. Maybe there's more to this. And
Mhm.
it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But still interesting that the sheriff or the sergeant, chief,
Okay.
chief, ends up like trying to steal the money for himself because
Right.
I did not predict that.
No, but also totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's a different way you can end that a different way. It
I
doesn't have to have that.
I really thought he was just trying to observe the human condition
Oh,
and the
sure.
money had already been taken.
Mm.
I thought it was gonna be like Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory, and he was just gonna end up going off on them like, "You
You
lose! Good
lose!
day!"
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, and I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
No, that's not what happened.
Instead, I get them all like, honestly, I really did want them all I mean, I didn't want it in the moment, it's now afterwards, I'm like, "They all shoulda died." It
Yeah.
was 'cause it's just the whole
It
time
should have
I'm
been a
watching it,
bomb
I'm
that
like,
they dug up.
yeah, like, "Oh, humans are terrible." They're
Yep.
just the idea and I get it, but it's also horrible what animals they become. I
Right.
the moment I loved is when, the character Emmeline, she's been this quiet wife. Most of the wives have been quiet the whole time.
Mm.
Um, but
You
she's
can't
off
get
to
a
the
word in
side.
edgewise with fucking Ethel Merman around. Jesus
Well,
fuck.
no, I think they said Ethel's gonna be the only woman who has anything to
She has
do or
all the
say.
lines. Yeah.
All the lines. But there's this nice moment where the captain is watching her, and she's like, "I would just take all this money and go to a convent." And I'm
Right.
like, "Where's the story?
Right.
I wanna know more about her." And then
Yeah.
I love afterwards, everyone else finds and she's like, "Well, it was nice while it lasted. It was a
Yeah.
dream."
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
She's tired of this shit, that's for sure.
they just I feel like they had areas where they could have explored more and it still would have been funny and been in line, but again, like,
But that wasn't what this
that
movie
that
was.
wasn't what this movie was supposed to be, and it's fine.
No, it is cameos and broad comedy and sight gags.
It is showing what stunt people could do back then,
Right. Yeah.
because I read somewhere that there were 100 working stunt people at the time, and 80 of them were in this film.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, and all that stunt stuff was done so practically. Like, have you seen have you seen much Buster Keaton stuff?
No.
He is a genius. Um, he did stuff he did stunt things that could legit get you killed. And if the timing wasn't perfect. The two like sort of most famous Buster Keaton bits that are I can't believe you did this and didn't die. Where there's a whole scene where um a house the front of a house falls and over him, and the only way he doesn't die is that the upstairs window
Yep.
and it's like if he is standing 2 to 3 inches in the wrong place, he's dead.
Yeah.
And they do it like we'll do it live. And then there's another one where he's on the cow catcher of a train, and there's a one of the slats of the train track is up like this, and
Mhm.
as he's riding the train coming towards it, he has to get off of the train, free that slat, put it back, get on the train. And if any of that doesn't go right, dude is dead. Train gets derailed. So he was the master of like practical effect stunt work for
Mm.
comedic value. And so like in a lot of ways, this movie stands on the shoulders of Buster Keaton.
And, like, that is incredibly impressive,
Mhm.
and I don't doubt that there are performers out there who are so skilled at being present in their bodies and knowing how to maneuver and manipulate that they can do these things.
Mhm.
But I was still really stressed watching this movie at times,
Sure.
like, "Oh my god, I know Ethel is really hitting these people in the head."
With that purse.
I know, and, like, I don't know how you can tell, but it's just like you just feel it, and there are just some moves where, like, I mean, Phil Silver really got hit, like, not
Uh-huh.
just by her bag, but, like, I think by Jonathan Winters, and, like,
Yeah.
just that's why sometimes things go on way too long, because people inevitably get too into it
Yeah.
and lose themselves a little bit. And like, you really do have to be on top of like what your body is doing. Like, okay, now I need to go here and make sure I aim an inch away from his face.
Yeah.
Now I need to have myself angled here. And, you know, I'm thrilled that there were any stunt people on this.
Right.
I am thrilled when I could tell they were throwing mannequins instead of humans.
Right.
Um, but I was
Jimmy
still
Potter, I
stressed
want
the
a piece of
fuck
him.
out. Yeah. And like, oh, I could definitely tell that it wasn't that it was a stunt double running for Spencer Tracy up the stairs. I was like, that's not his body.
That's really funny. I don't think I noticed it, but I'm sure that you're right.
Again, not to say that older people can't be running up the stairs like that, but it just, I don't know, it didn't, the way he had moved otherwise in the film had not been that. I really wanted in the intro to yell Sylvester, but I thought Riverside will never let me be that loud.
Mm-mm. You mentioned Phil Silver, and I wanted to look up something because there was something in my head, and I didn't see it on his IMDb. Um, but it was because it wasn't a movie; it was from his TV show. He I think created the character of Sergeant Bilko, and it was on his TV show. And then Steve Martin in the '90s did a Sergeant Bilko movie, which wasn't very
Mm.
good. Um, but um, but yeah, Phil Silver is like he was well known as like this, and it was a physical comedy bit, like Sergeant Bilko. Um, Neither here nor there, but you had said his name.
Yes.
Um, oh, the few other there were a few other cameos in here, and then we can move on to Adventures in Intimacy, which is probably just people getting punched and Ethel Merman getting like held upside down and having
I
keys
do have a
shaken out
couple,
of her
just a
titties.
couple things.
Yeah. But Andy Devine, Friar Tuck, as the cop on the phone, like that is a cameo, just like Jimmy Durante, to be honest. That's a cameo you get from the voice.
Mm,
You know, like Andy Devine's voice is so specific that when you hear it, you know that that's who that is. And for me, he is Friar Tuck.
yeah.
Um, and then Stan Freberg is in this movie. I'm not even sure that he gets to talk, but we talked briefly about Stan Freberg at one point. I don't remember when, but Stan Freberg has an album out. It's a double album, and it's called Stan Freberg Presents A History of the United States of America. And it's all bits.
Of
It's all
course.
just like George Washington crossing the Delaware bits and Betsy Ross making the flag bits and Ben Franklin with the kite bits. It's just gags about American history.
Sounds
And
awesome.
it's really funny. But it's 1950s funny,
Sure.
right? So it has some of the same um energy as bits in this movie. Not as fucking long, thank God. Um, but it taps on a lot of the same voice performers that were in Rocky and Bullwinkle,
Okay.
like Edward Everett Horton, who is in this movie. He plays one of the police officers or something. But Stan
Mm,
Freberg is in this movie too. And so there are people who were like this weird political offbeat comedy scene of the late 1950s that is um typified by Rocky and Bullwinkle. And
mm.
Stan Freberg presents, and these voice actors doing these irreverent like just bits of and voice work. And like I don't know, I feel like your familiarity with Rocky and Bullwinkle is pretty minimal.
It's gonna make you really sad. I've only seen the live action film.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't make me sad, although I think watching the old ones would make you happy. Like
Absolutely. I
they're
saw the movie, and as a kid, I don't think I got it.
probably not. To be honest, like there's a lot of gags you won't get because they're so era specific.
Mhm.
Um but the way that Rocky and Bullwinkle as a show worked was it was a half-hour show, and there was the Rocky and Bullwinkle story, and those were all serialized, and they would last for 7, 8, 10 episodes, and each episode would have like 2 or 3 pieces of that Rocky and Bullwinkle story, where like I don't know. Bullwinkle has a bunion that can predict the weather.
What?
Yeah, he has a weather predicting bunion. Um, or Gidney and Cloyd, the Moon Men, come down and they have they've got
These
I
names.
know they're great. They have an element called upsidasium, and it makes things float. And Boris and Natasha are trying to get it. So like there's one of those. There's one where like Bullwinkle is collecting box tops, which are like a new currency.
Yeah.
And I mean and so there's these long story arcs, and they're in these like, next time on Rocky, and then interspersed in between those would be other little running character things like
Yeah.
Mr. Peabody and his boy Sherman, which were time travel stories where Mr. Peabody, who's a dog, and his boy, Sherman, would step into the Wayback Machine and they would go and interact with uh, Napoleon or Cleopatra
Mhm.
or Benjamin Franklin or like whatever historical figures at big moments. And they would provide the spark of inspiration for the thing that this person for.
Oh, they accepted them.
Yeah, exactly. But like with jokes. Um,
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's all really funny. And then they would do like fractured fairy tales, which Edward Everett Horton would do. And
Mhm.
they were fairy tales, but twisted and kind of like, those fairy tales, like Rumpelstiltskin or whatever, but weird.
Huh.
And then there was Aesop and Sons, where like Aesop would tell a fable to his son, and the moral of the story would always be a joke that the kid made back at the dad. Awesome. Like,
Yep.
just so it was like little, and so there's all this voice actor stuff, and can't recommend Rocky and Bullwinkle enough, but it's some of these same folks. um and then you get um Charles Lane is in this,
Don't know
who
him.
is you just don't know the name.
Oh,
What if I said to you, yes, well, I suppose they do those sorts of things.
I'm blanking.
My kid brother Harry Bailey's coming home. He's getting a Congressional Medal of Freedom. Yes, well, I suppose they do those sorts of things. He's
Wait.
like the bank examiner.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, fucking Frank. Yeah.
I think I remember him mostly. Oh wait, what's the joke he makes? It doesn't matter. Oh, we'll waste time with it. But he has a few. Eustace.
Oh,
Or no, the wait. You said the bank examiner.
yeah. The one,
Never mind.
the one who's like, I want to go home and have Christmas Eve dinner with my family.
Yeah, I'm
That guy.
confusing the four-eyed individuals in this
Oh,
movie
yeah, yeah, for sure.
because it's
Um,
only those two.
yeah. But then like you see Carl Reiner in this movie.
Okay, missed him completely.
Okay. It's because he's young and has dark hair. Um,
Oh my god, you're right.
yeah, he's in the airplane, the tower when they're
No,
trying to talk the plane down.
I know where he is
Oh,
because
okay.
again, I did a lot of research
Gotcha.
after watching it, and I knew he was in it, and yet I forgot, and yeah, so
Yeah.
I know where he is. I have no memory
Yeah.
of the
It's
face,
because you didn't watch enough Dick Van Dyke Show.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Because like then you would have like that
Wait a
picture of
minute,
young
who is
Carl
he on the
Reiner.
Dick Van Dyke Show?
He's the guy that they work for. He's they write for his show.
Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Okay,
Yeah. Um yeah, I can't remember what the name of the show is that they write for. But
I
yeah,
do want to watch more of that. They're so
it's a
cute.
funny show. Yeah, it's a good show. Um but yeah, it just so if you know the people, if you recognize their voices, if you're like, "Hey, isn't that fucking Mr. Roper?" Um this movie has fun things, you know.
Yeah, Uh, although I think Mr. Roper, I know him from The Graduate more.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I know him from. Like, I don't like you.
No, I get that.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, he is in that. All right. Adventures in Intimacy.
Yeah, there's just a few things because of course this is not the point of the film.
Hmm.
But some areas where if we were making this today, I would be like, "Ooh, let's put an eye on that." For the actors, just or whatever, but like, the the chief in the very beginning, they showed the secretary walking out of the room and he very subtly checks her out and like, you
That's
know,
not subtle. He's looking at that ass. So was
well,
I.
subtle to her, although actually no, it's subtle to her. She may know, but she also may not know. But either way, the actor needs to know, "Hey, what's he looking at or what's he doing? Okay, so I need to walk a certain way, right?
Hmm.
Or do I acknowledge, just and yeah, for the time, they're going to be walking a certain way." And then I don't know. It's playing up a joke, but you also need to know like, okay, well then we need to think about costumes, showing off that asset.
Hmm. Can I tell you what I like about that bit?
Yeah.
Aside from just looking at ass, which thumbs up. Um, she goes through that swinging door,
Mhm.
and you watch the door swing, and then you watch her hips swing.
Yep.
Like her hips and that door are in conversation, and it's so cool the way that they did that.
And I know you say it's not subtle, but I think it was pretty subtle because, like, it's not like he went, "Oh," like, he just, just slowly turns his head and looks at her. He's not being lascivious. He's just
Right.
enjoying the view.
Yeah.
I was just looking that direction.
That's
And,
right. Happened to
she's
be an
not
ass there.
doing an over exaggerated hip sway.
No,
She's just
but they are
walking.
drawing your visual attention. Like
Yeah.
he's in front of the frame and his head turns and you see the door and the hips, and the entire point of that's why I say it's not subtle. Is the entire point is watching him watch her walk.
Yeah. And
Um
all of that needs coordination.
mhm,
Um, Another little moment, dancing around in underwear, although they look like bathing suits, but it for her, it totally could have been a bra underwear set. It was
mhm,
I have no idea. But like, you know, you need to talk to your actors about, "Oh, this is what we're thinking of for the scene. That work for you? Okay, what kind of bathing suit or undergarments work for you?
mhm,
What works for the time? What's going to allow you to move? And also, how do you feel most comfortable moving? Like,
mhm,
things to consider.
mhm.
And then, of course, the big one, which had my hackles up as we corrected the last episode. When she threw those keys down her bosom, I went, "Oh no.
Yeah,
What are they gonna do? I know it's 1963, but that just because it wasn't happening on film doesn't mean it wasn't happening in real life."
sure. Sure.
Um but they do something really funny, which is
They
both
do.
men take a leg, flip her and shake her out.
Yeah. It's
And if
it's a bit you would do in a cartoon, and they do it with a person.
they do it with a person. And so like, in doing that, one, are they physically capable? And yeah, are they okay with this? Like also think about where you're shaking. Costumes?
Mhm,
Ethel Merman is stacked.
mhm.
You got to make sure you have her in securely in
Oh,
one of
she
those
was
brasiers that is keeping the economy boosted,
yeah, it was one of those
according to
tops
this
that looks
film.
like a bra, but isn't a bra, but is a bra. First time
And
I've
I
gotten to
mean,
say that in years.
she has like pantaloons on
She does.
underneath.
Full
It's
bloomers. Yeah.
full bloomers, which adds to the hilarity in its own
Mhm.
way because it's one, pantaloons just look really funny.
Yeah,
And then also it's like, this is an older woman. Like, we're not trying to sexualize her because she's old. It's like, okay, well, 1963 for you.
yeah.
But yeah.
She
So
beat the shit out of
that's
people.
yeah.
yelling and beating the shit out of people. I bet when they pitched this to Ethel Merman, she was like, "What do I get to do?" And they're like, "You get to yell at everybody and hit 80% of the people in this cast with a purse." And she's like, "Fuck, sign me up. I
Yeah,
want to do
no,
all of that."
they said in their 1960s way, "Let her cook."
Yeah. Yep. I feel like she was not limited in any way.
They didn't need they probably pulled the boom away from her all
Oh
the
my
time.
gosh, she
Or
was
were
so
like,
loud.
"She's so loud," and I'm like, "I know you're used to playing packed houses, honey, and you are of that era that or of that generation that was trained to do this without mics,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
amazing." But
Yep.
I mean, every like I said, I can't imitate her doing Sylvester on here because Riverside programming cuts you out if you hit a certain decibel.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to. It's a pitch thing.
As noted in my impression of dial-up. You can't
Yeah.
hear it.
It's probably for the best. I mean,
Hey, was it that
it's a,
bad?
no, it is an inherently unpleasant noise.
I make it pleasant.
That's what
Everything I
I.
say is darling.
That's right. I'm saying that because I did it, it makes it okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Any other intimacies?
No.
I got nothing for Needle Drop Forest. Like, I don't care about this song. I feel like it almost tells the story of the movie kind of song. But I had a weird thing happen to how did you watch this? On Tubi or something?
Tubi.
Okay. Um I it came up on Pluto for me, and I don't know, it was just there was a weirdness to it. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm paying $4 because I don't want to watch commercials.
Oh,
The movie's already long enough. So I
Tubi
just went,
didn't make me have commercials. They were like, "This is long enough."
wow,
I
good for you.
know. It was
Um,
amazing.
so were your opening and closing credits, was there like a lot of black screen?
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was something funky. Like I saw no closing credits.
I was really annoyed because they're playing the song
Yeah,
over black,
yeah.
and then they do opening
Hold on.
credits.
Yeah, the song played over a black screen, and then there was like opening credits with a world and a chicken and a
Yeah.
um hilarious. Um,
And I was like, "Why couldn't these have been mashed together? You could have saved us 5 minutes."
mhm. Well, and not made me think that something was wrong with my television.
Yeah, that
You
too.
know, I was like, well, I should probably rent this because this is something funky here. Um,
But you spend that
yeah,
money.
I did. I spent that $4 whole. Um, all right, what else time? This is no one's defining role because everyone in this movie is cameoing from something else.
Yes.
Like it's real weird that way. Um, but before I get into the real what else I have, what else do you have?
So I was doing some research into the Brits rant about
Oh, sure,
his out-of-pocket rant about America in the 1960s being a matriarchal society because women are just
sure.
getting to lay around and blah, 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 blah. And then saying that that our economic system would flounder if brassieres stopped selling. And I was like, I
No, it's
gotta
not.
know. Or
Okay, go
what are you
ahead.
gonna add? Well, go ahead.
No, no, you do yours and then because I think you misinterpret what that means, but go ahead.
Well, okay, I'll explain it a little more because I he was making fun of Americans for being like whipped by women and focusing so much on bosoms to the point where again, I interpreted it as like your economy is going to falter if anything ever happens to brassieres.
No, yes, but what he's saying is, y you guys in the United States are so fixated on women to the detriment of being able to function in the world. And if
Well, that's
every
true.
woman in the country took off their bras, you would spend all of your time looking at tits and you would not get any work done and your economy would collapse.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's saying. If we removed all of the brassieres, you would just be like, "Auga," all the time.
Car wrecks
Yeah,
constantly.
constantly. And I'm not sure he's wrong. But that's what it was because at the time Britain had a queen, right? Like
Yes.
they were a matriarchal society in that way, but they were all George Banks.
Well,
Not
and
George
also,
Banks.
like, she doesn't really the crown doesn't have that much power. They are
Right.
merely a voice.
Yeah.
That is it. And the queen was not big on taking a stance. So
Right.
I understand what you're saying by saying it's like a matriarchal society in some regards, but like
But
no.
in most
Those
regards, they're a British home is run on precision. You know, like
but that's the
my
early
slippers, sherry and pipe
1900s.
are due at 6:02. Yeah, but that's still how a British society is run in
Okay.
1962. It is still a
Yeah.
very patriarchal society where women are in the homes and they have their place and all of this stuff. And he's looking at America and he's like, your women are wilding out and you guys are titty focused. And
Well,
he's not wrong. We are.
it's really funny than the research I tried to do, which again was fun and totally reminded me of a time, I think in middle school when I did a history of the bra.
Mhm.
Which is funny because your girl couldn't fill one out then.
Mm.
Wishful
Dense-
thinking in that in my education.
Hashtag dense breasts.
I don't think that's why they couldn't fill them out.
No, I just, I wanted
But
to
yeah,
remind
you
everybody.
know what? Thank you for reminding everyone of the real problem in
The
America.
people need to know.
Dense boobs.
Yeah, they need to know.
Yeah.
They already do.
But yeah, like apparently bras they had been around historically, but they didn't become like the big hit that they were in society until like the 50s. So he's not entirely wrong. But
Yeah.
it felt so out of pocket hearing him go, this matriarchal society, like
Yeah. It's not really, he just meant that we like boobs. Like that's not a matriarchal society. That's
no.
that's just good thinking. That's all that is.
I'm trying to think what else I had real quick for oh god, I guess we talked about everything else that I had for what else, but go on.
Um,
Oh,
uh,
you're gonna talk about I know.
yeah. Yep. He was wearing sneakers for sneaking. Um, so I did not get a chance to go back and watch Homer the Vigilante before we recorded because I was spending all of my time typing down the names of the people who were in this movie and what their spelling connection was. It took a while. But I've seen Homer the Vigilante a million times. It is a top 5 Simpsons episode for
Oh,
me.
wow.
I think
Okay.
it's definitely top 10, but it's probably top 5, maybe top 3. Because it is loaded with jokes. Like,
Yes.
it's so fucking funny. And I mean, what Homer, what would you say to the fact that petty crimes are down 75%, but heavy sack beatings are up a whopping 800%? Well, people can make statistics say anything they want. Can 15% of all people know that? Um, I mean, it's just one gag after another. It's so funny. Um, but at the end of the episode, it's the episode Cheesemeisters where there's a cat burglar who's been attacking Springfield, and Homer forms a vigilante group where they swing a sack of doorknobs, feed people with doorknobs. It's so brutal.
Yeah.
Listen, buddy, your car was upside down when we got here, and as for your grandma, well, she shouldn't have mouthed off like that. And Dad, if you're the police, who's going to police the police? I don't know, Coast Guard?
Oh, I
I don't
love
know. Coast
Lisa.
Guard is. I don't know. Coast Guard is such a great fucking answer. I don't know. Coast Guard.
Yeah.
But they catch Malloy, who was the cat burglar. Um,
And a
and it
smooth
seems that
talker.
yeah, it seems that the cat was caught by the very person who was trying to catch him. How ironic. Um, and but Malloy lived with Grandpa, and but he was so charming because he was British, and they put him in jail. And then he told them that he buried everything that he stole under a big T. And everybody who hears it immediately disperses, running to try to find a big T. And there's like all of the different things that the tea could be. Like there's a big teacup at like the
Yep.
tea shop or whatever, and there's a building that's shaped like a T, but of course it's a tree.
Yeah.
Um, and they do all of this stuff, and then there's an actual Phil Silvers in a car. Bart Simpson led him into the river. Wait, it's
Yeah.
your look at it. Um, yeah, and then there's they dig for the they dig for the treasure, and they get into such a big hole, and they're like, "Oh, how
Oh
are we
yeah.
gonna get out of here? We'll dig our way out."
Dig up.
No, dig up, stupid.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Um, so the Homer the Vigilante has direct it's a mad, 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 mad world references that are as you pointed out, the Simpsons did so much better with it in 5 minutes than this movie does with it in the whole
I'm
thing.
I'm so mad about it. Like,
Yeah. But it like I think both things existing makes both things better.
yeah.
Like the first time I saw Homer the Vigilante, I never even I'd heard of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World because as I've told you at least twice about the bit from Newhart where George Utley says, "Whenever I'm sad, I like to watch It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, and it always cheers me up." And then I remember how many of the people in that movie are dead, and it makes me sad again. And it's like it's the whole movie now. I don't think there's a single person alive that was in this movie. Um,
No. Also, it is worth noting, apparently Stanley Kramer wanted to put it in a fifth Mad, and he regretted it.
that he didn't.
That he didn't. I'm like, sir.
It's a mad, 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 mad.
Like,
Four's the right number.
4 is the right number.
It's also
But
too
also,
fucking long,
like,
like every other part of this movie. But
know when to stop.
yeah, yeah,
Quit while you're ahead.
and they didn't. But
Leave when the wind changes.
yeah, and when someone puts a pineapple next to your bed, that's also a thing. Um, but so when I first saw Homer the Vigilante, I had not seen this movie, but I knew who Phil Silvers was
Mm-hmm.
in 1992. I just did. I knew about him because of Sergeant Bilko. Not the Steve Martin movies, predates that. But I knew who Phil Silvers was, and I knew who a lot of the people in this were. I knew who Milton Berle was, and I knew Jonathan Winters, and like I knew Andy Rooney. I'd heard of Buddy Hackett, whatever. It's
You
just
mean
the
Mickey
stuff I grew
Rooney?
up on. The world, Jeremy, bang, the world.
God.
But I saw Phil Silvers in the thing, and I was like, I bet that this is about It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Like that was like I got that. I got that that's what they were doing, but I didn't know any of the details of the jokes. And so then at some point I went and watched the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, they did. Like they took the big W and they made it a big T, and they had him dig a hole, and there's the whole running. I mean, they do the whole thing,
Yeah.
but they do it in 5 minutes.
They did a Dr. Strangelove reference too.
Yeah, what was the Strangelove reference in there? Which one was it? Because they do that a lot in The Simpsons.
I forget what he hops on, but he does the thing where he's riding a bomb and he's like,
Oh, yes, take that, Maynard G. Krebs. Yeah. Which that's another joke that is distinctly 1950s. Do you know who Maynard G. Krebs is?
No.
Okay. There was a TV show in the 50s called The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. And it was about this I know. It's about this clean-cut, all-American blonde kid, Dobie Gillis, and, his many loves. But his best friend was Maynard G. Krebs. Maynard G. Krebs was a beatnik. In late 50s, he was a beatnik. And he was allergic to work, to the point where if anyone mentioned work, he would go, "Work!" and have like a freak out about it. Here's the thing. Maynard G. Krebs was played by Bob Denver, aka Gilligan. Yeah.
What?
Yep. So Maynard G. Krebs was the role that he got famous for before Gilligan's Island. So
Wow.
when Homer gets on that bomb and rides it down to kill the beatniks, and he shouts, "Take that, Maynard G. Krebs," it's because Maynard G. Krebs was like the most famous pop culture beatnik.
Good grief, this show.
It's a show that rewards knowing shit,
Oh.
which is why I like The Simpsons makes me feel smart. Because
Gosh.
if you get these esoteric, weird little pop culture things, it enhances what's there. And you don't have to have seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World to like Homer the Vigilante. And you don't need to have seen Dr. Strangelove either. But that bit is so much funnier when you know that he's doing that bit from the end of the movie. And all of the digging and the chasing, and when you know that it's a reference to this movie, it makes it better.
Yeah.
And then if you go back and watch It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and think about Malloy and the way he was walking, much more vertical than usual. It's just like you get to put those two things together and they make each other funnier
Got
because
it.
you can bounce back and forth in your head between them. And I really wish this movie had ended with "No, dig up, stupid."
Yeah. That
It's
would have been
so
great.
great. Yeah. Any other what else is for you?
No.
At the risk of making this episode as long as the movie itself, what is this the EST of for you?
This is the dustiest comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty. This is the longest continual sight gag in movie history.
Absolutely.
It's just one sight gag after another, and people yelling at each other. This reminds me of, I don't know, when Liam was like 5 or 6, and he heard that song, uh, "Baby, It's Cold Outside,"
Mhm.
and he said, "This song is just a lot of interrupting."
Yep.
And this
It
this
sure
movie,
is, Liam.
it sure is, and this movie is a lot of interrupting. There's so many people telling each other to shut up.
I thought of something else earlier when we were talking about cameos, but I went, "This is
Mm,
the We Are the World of comedy."
sure.
You're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey!"
Yep. No Dan Aykroyd, though.
What?
No Dan Aykroyd in this movie. It's weird.
Dan Aykroyd sings in We Are the World?
Yeah, he's the only Canadian.
I missed that in the documentary.
Yep.
I do not recall seeing him.
He's in the back row. Um,
I love that you know where he is. Who's
he's
he
just there.
standing next to?
I can't remember, but he's in the back row.
Alright.
They wanted Eddie Murphy, because it was 1984 and Eddie Murphy was like the biggest star on the whole fucking
I
planet.
didn't
He
know
was
any
Mickey Rooney.
comedians were on this song.
Well, but Eddie Murphy had he had a hit on the pop chart. Have you heard "My Girl Wants to Party All the Time"?
No.
My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the
Oh, okay.
time. That's Eddie Murphy. It was a huge hit. It's a Rick James. Rick James produced it.
Oh.
I'm Rick James, bitch. Um, but they wanted Eddie Murphy, and he couldn't do it or didn't want to do it or whatever, and so they grabbed one of the Blues Brothers. Um, but
As one does.
yeah, but Danny Aykroyd's Canadian, and everybody else in that thing is American. So it's weird.
Well, so it's less We Are the World, more We Are North America.
Yeah, yeah, we expanded it a little bit. All right, I think that once again we have proven my theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling.
Oh, and in this case, it so obviously does.
So many things.
It's a
Yep.
mad, mad,
So,
mad, 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 mad. It's a long, 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 long movie.
yep. How many shares of Mad are there in this movie? I think it's 38 shares. You get 7, you get 5, you get 4, you get 2.
I was so. Here's the thing. I got annoyed with that because I'm jealous. I'm jealous that they can do mental math
mhm,
that well, that
right.
efficiently.
Yeah.
Um, I can't.
You
It's
know
not
what?
my fault.
It's a longer, less funny version of. I know that we've only known each other for 2 weeks and 4 days, but to me, it feels like 9 weeks and 5 days. You know,
Yeah.
like where he goes into way too much detail about it, and it's super specific, but like, and it's just all this math,
He could have
but
just
it's funnier.
said, "We just need to divide up the ouch and the boing."
Right.
And
Yeah.
that would have gotten me. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
We got it.
wow.
Yep. Nailed it. Um, All right. So join us here next week, Cheesemeisters, on Wednesday when we watch season 5, episode 17, Sweating It Out. And next Friday when I don't know what we're gonna watch yet. Maybe something about road trips, maybe something about Native Americans, maybe something about um this.
Listen, that did make me think of Holes, but we don't need to watch Holes.
Yeah, Holes is pretty good, but it does have a Shia factor. Um,
Yeah, let's.
yeah. Anyway, so we'll figure out something to watch for next week, Cheesemeisters, as we always do.
Mhm.
But until then,
Cheers.
peace out.
Sylvester!